All right. On a meeting to order at 6 o'clock. Is there any public comments out there?
Takes them a second to unmute. Anybody on?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. So we need to approve the April 3rd finance meeting.
I make a
Minutes.
motion.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so first one up, we approved the budget. Now we are making the amendments to get everything in line, which was number 14. Okay.
Mhm.
So basically, at the end of the year, I mean, if we make them during the year, we can. But I usually just kind of do them at the end because I wait as long as possible. Because Dan likes to spend money and Dave likes, I know. So I try to make, I don't like go, okay, well, office supplies, we have a couple $100 extra. I don't take that to zero. You know what I mean? Because you don't know what's coming in yet. So all of those amendments are accounts that were over budget. And so in order to be compliant with the law, we have to be in budget by department. But I usually go through each account and try to like adjust those accounts because I want to make sure that what hit them was correct. And if this year we're spending $1,000 on supplies, it's pretty likely next year we're gonna at least spend that. And if we'd only had 500 budgeted, then we probably need to up that. So if you look at our budget actual, usually I amend our budget to really close to actual. So when you get to the end of the year, our budget activity and our actual are pretty close.
So it looks like when it were all said and done, it was $12,000. It was back and forth between the different places, right? If I read this right, on the last page.
No, that one's just
Oh,
the
that's
library.
different. Oh, okay. That's
So,
the library.
That's
Okay.
just the library. So
Okay.
no, ours were probably quite a bit more than that, actually. So,
There wasn't any total, but obviously it's all,
no,
it all increased and decreased.
yeah.
And gotten balanced by the time you were done.
And sometimes, you don't have anything to balance it against, like, say the cemetery spent, a couple $1,000 more than we budgeted for there. Sometimes there's no place to add or drop money.
So this available funds.
That's what I usually use to net it with.
Yes.
Yep. So, but that available funds is only in the general fund. And the other ones, I do my best to try to, balance it out like that so that our revenues and our expenditures, equal out. But for instance, in cemetery or SOM, maybe we bought a new lawnmower, so we are spending some of that fund balance. And we did come in over budget. But we have to amend the budget so the state doesn't send us a letter and tell us that they're mad at us because we went over budget. Because then we gotta tell them how we're not gonna go over budget next year. It's like a corrective action plan or something, and I don't like to get those letters, so. I usually just fix it.
So the one that sticks out in my is the sewer system improvements. We took $120,000 away from that.
Because we didn't spend it,
Okay,
because we're moving it to next year.
are we up?
So I just used, what was sitting in there. There was no sense to leave that where the revenue, was less than the expenditures because we didn't spend that 120,000. If I'm thinking correctly.
That's the only one that, I kind of was pretty sure that other one was kind of.
Yeah, all the other ones were probably just smaller.
Right.
Um,
Right. Well, do you see anything that you have any questions? Well, I know that we have to do this every year.
yeah,
It doesn't, it makes sense to do it right now because you kind of have somewhat of an idea what else coming in and
Well,
what
we
you
could do it.
foresee. No, but I mean, why not?
We could do it quarterly or whatever, but I mean, at quarterly, and the reason I've done this way now is that I've adjusted them before, like at mid-year.
So then you just adjust and have.
And then I have to adjust it back, like, so, oh, we're gonna come in under on this account. Oh, this looks great. And then I adjust it and we spend it. So it's so much easier just to wait till the end of the year. So.
All right, so let's move on to number 13. So it looks like the recyclers are trying to make some progress in the school and us to get more.
Right, so if you
Bins.
look at those minutes from Todd Brewer when we met last. Early, mid-May, maybe, early May. And it just I kind of felt some frustration from them that the school and the city weren't participating like they would like to see us. And we had talked about like getting some containers or something, and last year we did put some stuff out, but we're kind of thinking like at the baseball fields, we would get a ton of water bottles.
Yeah.
And so my suggestion was that we start small and with something we know that we can make a difference with.
Mhm.
And I felt like water bottles was huge at all of our events. I mean, these guys can tell you how many water bottles they pick up.
The only thing that I have a hard time and I think they're shaped where the other stuff. Some of those containers, if they're not shaped for only water bottles. fit
Well,
in,
that's what we want.
Yeah, cause if not, all we get is a bunch of, like, they don't listen and they put trash and everything else in there. and
Well,
those are-
so we want these ones with the circle in the lid.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my
Yeah,
suggestion.
I
and-
think that's, I think
And I
that's the
feel
right,
like if we go with these really like crappy ones, they're gonna fall over, they're not, and we're kind of thinking of going with a little bit nicer one, but we wanted you guys to help us, like, I feel
were
like,
you leaning towards this one?
yeah, I kind of feel like this one is really nice, and then we could probably like get some, like, take it to our printers or whatever and tell them that we want it to say Greater Langsburg Recyclers on it,
Oh,
or, yeah, I mean, we
Yeah.
could also do a little advertisement for them, and we could like just splash water bottles all over it or something, so
Yes.
that, I mean,
Yeah. and it-
so, like, if we get one that looks like a trash can, the guys are gonna be sorting trash.
Yeah,
Even with the circle in it, people can lift the lid and, it's just gonna be, I feel like. That other one is our better option, and you can do it says plastic bottles all over it, and you can do 4 sides, so.
so we had some down there that we brought out that were in that.
Them were the recyclers. I borrowed them from,
Okay, they weren't ours. They gave it. Okay,
and that's what them other ones really wanted to deals.
So-
for the events.
right.
So this
How
was
much are
my,
you thinking?
well, we were thinking that we'd like one here in the office, because we do like, the guys will drink water out there or whatever, and we could do one here. And we're thinking at least 2 in each park.
Okay.
So 2 here, 2 at Bates. And I guess we kind of see how it goes.
Yeah.
And then if we want an extra one, like say we're gonna have, a big concert or something, or, at the movies, we sell water, it's,
Right.
so
Right.
if we're gonna do the food truck thing, maybe we can have a couple extra ones for events or something.
I would say 5 probably is a good starting. I mean, I can see if we have food up here at this pavilion, putting one up here and then one down where the people sat. But if we
Yeah.
want 2 more, I don't know.
Which
where
is
I-
fine, we're just kind of
Yeah.
trying to let you guys
Yeah.
decide how many you
Yeah.
think we have, we're just telling you what we think is that. I think at a minimum, we need 2 at each park and 1 here,
I agree.
and then I think during the festival and stuff,
Yeah.
maybe next year,
Yeah.
we could really.
Well, maybe we see how it goes with these 5 and then we decide if
Right.
we need more.
Right, and then I'm also thinking that, during the festival, the baseball hasn't really kicked up yet, so we
Right.
can move a couple of those there. Or has it?
Well, it depends on what style we get, if we're gonna permanent mount them. If we don't permanently mount them, they're gonna be all over.
Oh, I see what you're saying, okay. You
So
wanna,
where are you thinking of mounting? If you got 2 for McClintock, where would you think you'd mount that?
One up here by where the tables are, and probably one down by that skate park, tennis park, in the lower area. I mean, there's a lot of water bottles. and stuff
Down by the
that
skate park.
See, like, I think there should be something closer to the amphitheater, because if we're gonna have events, I know I pick up water bottles.
But
Maybe we
here's the
need
other side
three.
of that, them ones on wheels that we could have for events weren't all that expensive.
Yeah, we could do those. So
Okay.
that for
Just
events,
right.
they could be mobile and
Yeah.
then Dave could have some that aren't mobile.
Yeah.
Are you gonna put bags in them then? So you can
Yes.
pull the water
Yes.
bottles right out? Cause if you're gonna permanently mount them
Correct.
somewhere,
That-
The
that'd
mobile- the
and we
mobile
just
ones-
want them to be like whatever, bright color, that they're completely different from any of our trash cans
I
and.
think your idea of having a picture on it is very helpful.
'Cause I like the thought of the mobile ones too, because you can use them for the amphitheater, you
Yeah.
can bring them up here during the pancake breakfast.
Right, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so maybe 5 mounted ones,
And then,
and then
A
a
couple
couple of,
mobile ones.
yeah.
because you said the ones we had last year, we borrowed,
Correct,
and did those fill up?
yes. Especially during the movement.
I feel like that's our, kind of, all right, let's do some low hanging fruit, and I felt
Yeah.
like. Water bottles was definitely the easiest thing for us.
Right.
And if we see how that goes, then, I mean, the other thing they suggested was. Going through our dumpsters, going through our trash cans, and we're just like, okay, well. And I really feel like the school is like, they're a much bigger target than we are
Yeah.
for, I mean, our target would be. Those water bottles.
Are we a member, I guess, of them where we can go and take our cardboard and stuff anytime we
Yes.
want?
Yeah, we
So,
do.
I mean, so we're already doing some of that
Yes.
already.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is more, I really
Right.
feel like this is just a good thing. I don't know. Olive branch?
Well, it gives them a good advertising
Yeah.
and they can show.
And it really feels like we're participating and trying to help them, and, I think that. I can think of any other thing else to do. And they seemed happy with that.
And did you think the school kind of also?
They were gonna try to get a hold of Matt and see
Okay.
what they could work out. I am not sure. How that went.
All right, so now we're going on to number 15. Our packet.
So, that's the category B grant application.
Okay.
So basically, we've applied for this a couple of times. We got it once.
Yes.
This will be the third time we've tried this. Okay, or the fourth time. I feel like we tried last year and didn't get it. Okay, so this is the fourth time and we've got it once, and I mean, I don't know, it's really. It's road work. It's.
Right.
It's only can be used on local streets. And we're looking at $250,000. We listed out the streets that Dave and I talked to Adam about, and we took them right off of our capital improvement plan. So this is kind of,
Just through on that. We
Yep.
just kind of have the mercy of. I think there was a.
Shiawassee Street, Treat Street, and Grant Street. And then like a lot of other crack sealing and that kind of stuff.
Them three were reconstruction.
So when's the last time we did get one of these?
2 years ago. So I think we applied last year and didn't get it. The first time we applied, we didn't get it. The second time we applied, we did get it. And that's when we did Woodbury Road, right? That portion of Woodbury. No, Doyle's major.
There's major, so yeah.
So it's that portion of Woodbury we did.
No,
Was that the only thing we did, or did we do part of Shiawassee?
it's summer shadow loss.
When will we know?
I can't remember what that was.
But it's already been submitted
Yeah, it would be for next, no, we can't submit it
until
until
we.
the city council approves that we apply.
Okay.
But it won't be until 23. It'd be funding for 23
Okay.
or 24, I mean,
23,
sorry.
24.
Yeah. So it would be next year's construction.
I don't see why we wouldn't try it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just cross our.
we're
fingers
gonna,
and-
we just borrowed, $1 million to do road work, and 250,000 of it could get,
Yeah.
Right.
that would be
we could
nice.
get 250,000 more by doing this
Right.
grant application. So.
All right, well, I would make a recommendation that we
Yeah.
do that for sure. So I know you didn't put it on here, but I'd kind of like to talk about this Woodhull construction.
That's
with
fine.
the
We got other,
okay, oh, yeah, okay, that's the other. So, I mean, when they submitted this to you, was there any indication of what portion they felt like we should pay, or is this the? Like, has there been any really like agreement? Going forward?
the agreement when we purchased it was that we were gonna share 50%,
Okay,
but. I mean,
so,
I guess so. What happened with this, in my opinion, is that the school. You know, they did the bids, I guess. We never even saw the bids.
pretty much till they were done,
Right,
Yeah.
we didn't even see the bids.
that's
I
true.
don't even know who else bid on it, and then I got this in the mail, here's Woodhull's bill, and I was like, oh. Okay, so, and I've also been working, I mean. I'm putting together a blight grant, I mean, it's already turned in.
Right,
We could have got we could have got this paid for with that blight grant, and so. I mean, I feel like the communication definitely needs to improve there, especially, and I said to Matt, and other people, I feel like it's important that with the, construction of the parking lot that. I mean, we need to, if we're gonna be expected to pay half of the construction of that
Right.
parking lot.
Right.
Which I
That's what I
don't
was-
think we should, because I think the school, is redoing their bus, I mean, I feel like there needs to be some discussions there.
Yeah.
Um,
I agree, too. That's why I was kind of asking.
but demolition, we knew that, that was a part of it, and I mean, I don't think that, it is a problem for us to pay 50% of it, but my concern is that.
We're
Somebody
setting a
needs,
precedence though, and are we gonna, then they're gonna send us the bill and expect us to pay for half,
Right.
we don't know what it is.
right, and so I'm not sure. If I should have that conversation, or if somebody, like, our council should have that conversation with. The school board. Do you see, I mean, Matt and I don't make those decisions.
Right, right.
You guys make the decisions, but I feel like we've had those meetings,
Right. We had a meeting with Mr. Culpepper and everything a while ago.
then you and Jeff
And
and
then
I,
just lately, we had another meeting, but between
But
the
before
meetings,
spring
there's
break,
not.
right,
like-
before spring break, we had that meeting,
Right.
and no one said anything about who was paying for what that day. And then we had that meeting over there, and they've been paying the architects and engineers or whatever, I assume.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know if we're gonna get a bill for,
Right. Right.
none of that has been laid out, and so that's why. I felt it was important to bring this bill to the city
Yeah.
council.
So I've been going to the school board meetings the last couple of times.
Right,
And so they did, bring out the drawing and stuff. There was no talk of money or anything like that. But I was just, the reason I was saying is because, I'm guessing we're gonna pay half of this, but I think there should be some dialogue before we get to a point where, we get
or
some.
an agreement.
Yes.
Or something,
Right.
I mean, I do, I think that, because. Yes, our original thought was we were gonna pay 50% to buy it and tear it down,
Right.
but I could have got that paid for with a grant. And,
The dialogue just kind of died.
and so I feel like we need to fix that, and probably sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
So when we bring it up, we'll talk about it and see what, who should be, if, Jeff needs to reach out, or we need to have some kind of meeting or whatever, but I think it needs to be talked about. Before
And I
we get too
agree.
much further.
100%.
All right. Is there anything else that you feel like would, and other that we need to,
Anything
I mean,
else on the,
these trees looked interesting. But how can you buy a tree for $300? I just like,
I think you only get reimbursed that, right?
yeah.
Is it smaller trees or
It had certain trees or whatever, but.
the tree grant?
It's a list of different style trees for different sizes, different areas.
But they only reimburse up to
Up,
X.
up to so much, correct. It
Right.
could be $1,000 tree. They're only going to
I
reimburse.
think
you
they're
$300.
doing that, yeah.
What's the
And it
max
does-
grant award?
I think you could do, with it 15 trees?
15 trees in
Okay.
per calendar year.
So the
So
thing
it's
that
not
I
like
did,
a huge amount of money.
no, but
It's
it
not
is
a huge
something.
amount of money, and I'm still waiting for them to call me back, because I put a call into them after our discussion that you and I had. Because we was looking at the subdivisions, and you can have certain size trees for power lines. And you can't have trees that are gonna impede with gas or power lines. Well, the subdivision, all of that gas and power runs in the road right away. Where are we supposed to put a tree?
Well, the
Did
first
you
thing
call
that came to
Andrew?
mind was the,
Did you call Andy?
Yeah, he's the one that told me to get a hold of this guy.
Oh, jeez.
the first thing that came to mind was the people asking for some shading.
That
But
did
you-
enter
but
my
you-
mind.
But it says in there you can't put it in front.
Right,
So I was like, okay, well, I
But-
mean, after I kept reading, I'm like, you can't do it here, you can't do it here,
Right,
so it's like.
but
well,
as far as the park stuff, that has been in my mind anyhow.
Yeah, but I'm, yeah, but when I was reading this. that's-
This, I was looking at like subdivision.
he's got some more big trees you could move.
Some of the ones we've cut, yeah. We've cut some down that should have some replaced, you know, but. The subdivisions would be a perfect spot for them, because none of them really have trees, but. All of their utilities running right away.
Right.
Is there anything else, Paula, that you think we need to talk about? Obviously, we need to sign the bills.
Yep.
I don't think, I looked over it, I don't think I had, do you have any questions on the bills? You know,
So make a motion.